It's time now for this morning's top story. I'm Jennifer Elliott. A new report ranks the Beaver State top 3 nationwide for job growth. But as NBC5's Rand Christensen tells us, many here are still struggling to find work.
Not only was this very frightening, the whole thing was very strange.
Think you're the biggest fan out there of coffee? Well, you may have some competition from a bird. Meet Kiara, an Oregon cockatoo who's crazy about coffee. She'll drink it any way you give it to her, cold, hot, with or without sugar. And Kiara has been a coffee drinker for 7 years. I wonder how that'll affect her lifespan.
And we have been told that actually where we're at, which is on King and 10th, a block down from the district attorney's office, that we need to move. Overnight, firefighters say it went from looking like this, lush and green, to looking like this, stumps still smoldering, the charred remains of trees in piles.
And almost a year ago, this piece of significant art was put in. It's called Open-Minded.
One of the biggest rules for having a dispensary means having constant surveillance, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Here's to hoping I don't get lost.
Well, in a matter of minutes, I was lost. But while I was stuck inside, here's some of the events happening around the region I could have attended if I just could have found a way out of there. Another concern that was brought to us by a parent actually happening right here at Hoover, that when students were released yesterday after classes, she says there was no one directly in charge of making sure they were picked up by the right person. She was afraid that someone could have picked up her grandson and no one would have known.
But perhaps more controversial, their plan to zone this parcel at the corner of Pearson Hillcrest.
So I rolled the windows up most of the way and waited with a thermometer and timer for 36 minutes.
There's no breeze in here at all. This is stagnant, oppressive air. Can't even hold the camera still. I'm shaking.
At the 36-minute mark, I had enough. It was 112 degrees.
Michael, wake up! We're on fire!
Off camera, the driver of this FedEx truck recounts what happened as his cab burst into flames while coming over the Siskiyou Pass.
I noticed that a warning light had come on. I hear a rattling sound in the motor, crack, 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 crack. So immediately, that sounded an alarm. I looked at my mirrors because I know it's coming from the bottom of the engine, and flumes of flames are coming around the engine on both sides. And the flames were hitting my face and the fumes were just unbearable. And I said, I'm getting out.
The fire was so hot it even caused damage to the asphalt, burning right into the ground.
Furthermore, northbound lanes from mile marker 10 on the I-5 were blocked, causing a traffic jam that extended for miles.
Well, we're supposed to be at Rogue Valley for surgery in about 45 minutes, so I'm a little frustrated.
For 3.5 hours, commuters waited.
It's so terrible, but you know what? God bless them, and I hope they got out safe.
Many just grateful the truck driver miraculously escaped.
People die doing this job every day. People die. It's not an easy job.
Still leaving casualties, a damaged freeway, and hundreds of FedEx parcels consumed by flames. On the I-5, Jennifer Elliott, NBC5 News.
We're out here at the back of a neighboring lot where the property owner has allowed us to film. And as you can see behind me, Jackson County Search and Rescue is set up. Now, if you take a look, though, at the GPS coordinates, you could actually see that we're only a few yards from where a pond lies at the back of Monica's property. A third suspect is now behind bars for the armed robbery of a Medford market last Saturday night. Police arrested 19-year-old Cole Alexander Ziegler Tuesday night. Crews are also preparing for the solar eclipse.
As a football.
Thanks, Jeff. Could be boot ball, I suppose.
Well, and it would be hard to play anything in the fog because
there we
it's
go.
So thick.
Now, this lady knows how to segue.
Well, it's a little bit of a stretch, but it really would be. I mean, starting near here, near Highway 140 and East Antelope Road. There's over 42,000 Redbox kiosks in the United States, and the company claims that 68% of Americans live within a 5-minute drive of one, which may well be true considering there's 29 kiosks in the Rogue Valley alone. As superintendent, do you have any specific comments that you would like to make to your teachers that work here in the Medford School District?
Yesterday was a really hard day for everyone, and we really care about our teachers. We'd like them back.
Thank you so much, Dr. Long. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time. As you just heard, no agreement made at this point. Of course, keep it tuned to NBC5. We are told by the Oregon Education Association that there will be picketers arriving right here at Central High now that teachers are going to be going on strike. Being here before the doors open, it's almost a little bit spooky. If you've ever read the R.L. Stine Goosebump book about a carnival, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's also kind of cool. There's a bit of a hum. It's not a lot yet, folks. I got to show you this. If you can see
on top of our little step stool here.
We've had a lot of talk about sinkholes lately. Well, a new exhibit opened up inside the National Corvette Museum today. Remember the massive sinkhole that caused the collapse of the floor inside the Sky Dome and destroyed 8 prized Corvettes? There's that video. That happened on this day 2 years ago. Anyway, the cars were eventually recovered, 2 were restored, and the sinkhole was filled. But because of the popularity of the story, the museum actually turned the disaster into a new exhibit. Visitors say they're glad that people took a bad situation and turned it into something positive. Now, I know that this story hits a little bit hard for our meteorologist, Adam Kovac.
You have this high pressure actually that's built in and no showers on the board. So we're keeping it dry, at least at this point. If we take a look at our temperatures yesterday, the high 84 degrees, much closer to that average of 80. We're going to see that push on shore this afternoon for the coast. It'll bring with it the marine layer. Alturas has already recorded some light precipitation, which is good news because we really don't have much rainfall to attribute with these systems as they track on through. A lot of it is staying aloft in the upper layers of the cloud cover, and it's just not going to make it to the surface. So there's the potential for dry lightning over today and into tomorrow, and that's because we are going to be seeing thunderstorms without the rain.